Start with Keith Smith.
Hey, Mo, can you just fill us in about how you found out about the trade and coming to Boston and all what the last couple of days have been like for you?
It was nuts. I mean, honestly, getting traded here, like, it's not my first time, so I'm not, like, sad about, like, I know how it works. So I know what to expect on the trade deadline, but you never know, you know? So I was actually, like, on a pregame walk when I got the call that I traded to Chicago, and then a couple minutes before the deadline, I get the call that I'm going to Boston. So it's crazy, but I'm very happy to be here.
John Krause.
Can you talk a little bit maybe about your history there with Daniel Theis? Is it kind of odd to be traded for one another?
Yeah, it is, but in the sense that we're both German and kind of play for the German national team, but I haven't really played a lot for the German national team, and that's not really with him. So I don't know Daniel that well. I will say that it's obviously a little weird too. Always, it's weird to get traded for somebody else just because, I mean, I watch all these games. I know what he means for the team, and then to just come in and replace that, or, you know, whatever it is, it's just tough because everybody has relationships, and I know how hard that is, and I feel the same way. So it's always an odd dynamic that you kind of got to get through.
And you, in one of the plays there, Daniel had a seal play that he ran off the pick and roll to kind of spring a wing to get to the rim, and it looked like you kind of ran that play. Was that intentional? Is that something you knew Boston was running, or did you do it by accident?
I've been doing that with the Wizards too. So I mean, I did that with the Wizards as well. I tried to. I've actually watched. Daniel does a great job with it. The little highway screen. And I've been trying to copy that for a long time, but I've been doing it this year too. I think Marcin Gortat with the Wizards did it a couple years back. He was elite at it, and Daniel is kind of bringing it back. So, yeah, I try it here and there and try to get my guys open as much as I can.
Sherrod Blakely.
Yeah, hey Mo, you had touched on just kind of understanding this is kind of part of the business. When you join a new team midstream the way you are now, what are some of the things that you're trying to pick up on as quick as possible that can help you get on the floor sooner rather than later?
Honestly, the dynamics of the team, like who's leading, who has what role, emotional role, and all that stuff. And then defensively, I think is the most important thing. Just getting the terminology right, because I think if you can't guard and don't know what's going on, you can't play. So I think that's the number one priority. And then, especially with a coach like Coach Stevens, it's very important to understand the offensive script too, and learn the terminology, because there's a huge emphasis on that end of the court. So I have a lot to learn. I watched a lot of tape the last 24 hours, but I can feel how I'm still a little overwhelmed here and there. But I keep telling myself it's just basketball and to keep on playing through mistakes.
Chris Ryan.
Hey, Mo, what was tonight like from an emotional standpoint, where you're part of the trade? Brad said pregame it was unlikely you're going to play unless it was a blowout scenario. You enter in big minutes. You're trying to make an impact, an impression. What is that like from a mental standpoint to try to do that?
Honestly, the basketball part, we were just talking, it's kind of the easiest thing, because it distracts you of all the other stuff that you have going on, like moving and all the off the court stuff that you got to figure out. So just talking about coverages and getting to know new teammates is kind of the fun stuff, you know, and that's kind of what I enjoy most. So, yeah, it's a good thing about the NBA that you play a lot of basketball, and I kind of try to get lost in that and worry about the other stuff off the court, but basketball is kind of the easiest and most fun part of it.
Tom Westerholm.
Hey, Mo, just kind of related to that, just what have your initial conversations been like with Brad about what kind of specific things he's looking for from you?
I'll be honest, we haven't talked as much, but I mean, I had a brief conversation in the beginning of the meeting to just be a confident player, and yeah, just, I don't know, just go out there and play and don't think too much, I would say. So much going on that we didn't really have an in-depth conversation, but we went through some plays and talked a little bit basketball, picked our brains, I think, and that was it. But nothing concrete. I mean, I got here today, so this is kind of brand new situation, and we figured it out on the fly.
All right, we'll wrap it up right there. Thanks, Mo.
Thank you, guys.